Get ready for a real adventure today, because we're heading
Oh,
to the mountains
okay.
to discover the unexpected world of Bolivian wine.
Wow.
You know, when most folks think South American vineyards,
Yeah.
they picture Argentina or
Right.
Chile, right?
Right.
I know I do.
Mm.
But you, my friend, you're ahead of the curve.
Wow.
You sent over those excerpts from Vinos de Bolivia,
Okay.
and let me tell you now, I'm dying to dive deep into this hidden gem with our expert.
Well, buckle up because Bolivian wine is in a league of its own.
I'm ready.
The more you delve into its history, the more you uncover about its unique terroir, the more you realize just how special these wines really are.
Let's start with that history. I was floored to learn that winemaking in Bolivia goes all the way back to the 16th century,
Wow.
led by, get this, Spanish missionaries. Talk about a plot twist.
Yeah.
But it's not just a European import, right?
Oh, yeah.
Tell me more about how indigenous traditions shaped things.
It's a fascinating blend, really. You see, unlike newer wine regions, Bolivia boasts a long and layered history. Those missionaries may have brought the vines, but indigenous practices quickly intertwine, shaping not just the viticulture, but also weaving wine into local customs and even religious ceremonies. This resulted in a truly unique cultural fusion that you can practically taste in the glass.
Speaking of reaching new heights, literally, let's talk about those incredible altitudes. I mean, vineyards practically touching the clouds at 1,600 to 2,600 meters.
Wow.
You're the expert.
Yeah.
How does that extreme environment actually shape the grapes and ultimately the taste in the glass?
That's what we call heroic viticulture, my friend. Imagine those grapes soaking up the intense Andean sun, then weathering dramatic temperature swings between day and night, all while being brushed by those cool mountain breezes. It's a harsh environment, but it forces the grapes to develop thick skins, concentrating their flavors and creating wines bursting with character. Think intense fruit, vibrant acidity, and a distinct minerality you won't find anywhere else.
So we've got these hardy grapes shaped by the extremes of the Andes. And I know from the materials you shared that the Tarija Valley is the place for Bolivian wine. Something like 93% of it comes from there, right?
Yeah.
But are there other regions, hidden gems maybe, that deserve a spot on our wine lovers map?
Absolutely. While Tarija is certainly the heartland, there's a whole world of Bolivian wine waiting to be explored. Take Las Cintas, for example. They're known for their crisp, refreshing whites that are perfect for those high-altitude picnics. And then there's Samaipata, where they're all about organic and biodynamic practices working in harmony with nature to craft truly expressive wines.
Organic biodynamic music to my ears.
Yeah.
I love a winery with a conscience. Tell
Yeah.
me more about these biodynamic practices. What makes them so special?
It's a holistic approach, really. Think of it as organic farming taken to the next level. They view the vineyard as a living ecosystem using special preparations with natural ingredients and following lunar cycles to promote soil health and vine vitality. The result, wines with a true sense of place, vibrant, expressive, and full of life.
Okay, I'm adding Samaipata to my list as we speak. So we've got Las Cintas Samaipata. Any other hidden corners we should venture into?
Don't forget Luribay, tucked away near La Paz. It's one of the oldest wine regions with vineyards dating back to the 16th century. They're known for their unique microclimates and traditional winemaking methods. And for a real taste of history, there's Vinto. They've been crafting wines there since those Spanish missionaries first arrived, using ancient techniques passed down through generations. It's like stepping back in time.
I do love a good blast from the past.
Yeah.
But let's talk grapes for a second. We've mentioned those hardy, high-altitude varieties, but are there any particular stars of the show I should look out for?
You'll find familiar faces like Cabernet Sauvignon and Tanat thriving in the Bolivian terroir, each taking on a unique expression at those altitudes. But the real gem, the one you absolutely have to try, is the Moscatel de Alejandria.
Okay, you had me a gem. Tell me more about this Moscatel de Alejandria. What makes it so special?
It's a versatile grape, makes a fantastic wine with lovely floral aromas and a refreshingly sweet character. But it's also the key ingredient in Singani, Bolivia's national spirit. Imagine a brandy with a delicate floral bouquet, smooth on the palate, unlike anything you've tasted before. A true taste of Bolivia.
Singani, you say?
Mm.
All right, you've officially piqued my curiosity. Now, we've talked terroir grapes, but what about the actual winemaking? I can only imagine the challenges and maybe the rewards of crafting wine at these dizzying heights. Okay, we've trekked through the vineyards, met the grapes. Now, let's step inside the wineries themselves.
Okay.
I have to imagine that making wine at these altitudes with this history requires a certain magic touch. What can you tell us about the winemaking process in Bolivia?
It's a captivating blend of ancient tradition and modern innovation. Picture this harvest time arrives, and because of those steep slopes, it's all hands on deck for manual harvesting.
Right.
The grapes are carefully collected, often carried down the mountainsides on the backs of hardworking folks just like their ancestors did.
Wow, that's dedication.
Yeah.
So we've got the hand-harvested grapes. What happens next?
Here's where tradition truly shines.
Yeah.
Many wineries still ferment their wines in massive clay pots called churras.
Really?
These things have been used for centuries.
Wow.
They're buried underground to maintain a consistent temperature throughout fermentation, adding a unique earthiness to the final product.
Juris. I love it. It's incredible how these ancient practices still play a vital role in shaping the flavors.
Yeah.
But I imagine there's also a place for modern techniques in these wineries, right?
Absolutely. While tradition runs deep, Bolivian winemakers aren't afraid to innovate. They're experimenting with altitude-specific yeasts, trying out new oak treatments, constantly refining their craft to create wines that express the very best of their terroir.
It's that beautiful dance between old and new that makes this so fascinating. Now let's talk about the people behind it all.
Hmm.
Are there any standout wineries or winemakers I should add to my must-try list?
Oh, there are so many gems to discover. Campos de Solana is a great place to start. They're one of the largest producers known for their consistent quality and wide range of wines.
Okay.
If you're looking for the quintessential Singdani experience we talked about, Bodega Sassini is your go-to. They've been perfecting the art of this unique spirit for generations.
Campos de Solana Bodega Sassini noted. Anyone else I should be on the lookout for?
For a taste of true passion, seek out Kohlberg. This family-run winery in Cochabamba has been handcrafting exceptional wines for over 6 decades. Their Cabernet Sauvignon is particularly special, showcasing the power and elegance this grape can achieve at high altitudes. And we can't forget La Concepcion, true pioneers of Bolivian wine. They were among the first to produce varietal wines in the country, and their award-winning Cabernet Sauvignon put them and Bolivian wine on the world map.
You've convinced me. My to-taste list is growing longer by the minute. But let's talk about what awaits when we finally get a taste of these wines. If I pour myself a glass, say, of that high-altitude Bolivian Tanat, what should I be prepared for?
Close your eyes and imagine this. You swirl the glass, and this vibrant, almost electric ruby color catches the light. The aroma hits you first, ripe blackberries, plums, maybe a hint of spice from the oak. Then the first sip, bold tannins characteristic of Tanat, but balanced by this incredible freshness and vibrancy like a burst of mountain air on your palate. And finally, those intriguing mineral notes we talked about, a taste of the terroir of the unique earth these grapes grew in.
Wow, you're making my mouth water.
Hey,
And I can't forget about those food pairings. I read about these savory pastries called sultanas. Tell me more about those and what wines would pair well with them.
oh, sultanas are a must-try. Imagine a flaky pastry filled with a rich, savory stew, often with beef, chicken, or vegetables, seasoned with a blend of spices that will transport you straight to the Andes. And for the perfect pairing, that bold tannin we just talked about would stand up beautifully to those intense flavors, or perhaps a glass of full-bodied Malbec. For something lighter, those crisp Sauvignon Blancs from Las Cintis would complement the spiciness of the sultanas beautifully.
See, this is what I love about these deep dives. It's about the journey, the discovery, the way a single sip of wine can transport you to a different place and time. Speaking of journeys, you mentioned festivals earlier. What about this golden grape legend? It sounds like something straight out of a wine lover's fairy tale.
Ah, yes, the legend of the uva de oro, the golden grape. It's said to grow high in the Andes, hidden away in a secret valley. They say this mythical grape is imbued with magical properties capable of producing the most exquisite wine imaginable. Whether it truly exists or not is a matter of a debate, but the story itself speaks volumes about the allure and mystique that surrounds Bolivian wine.
It's like a treasure map for wine lovers.
Yeah.
We've gone from knowing next to nothing about Bolivian wine to feeling like we've just peeked behind the curtain of something truly special.
And the most exciting part, this is just the beginning. There are so many more wineries to discover, so many more unique flavors to experience, so many more stories to uncover. Bolivian wine is a reminder that the world of wine is full of surprises and that sometimes the most unexpected places hold the most extraordinary discoveries.
So to our listeners, consider this your official invitation to join the adventure. Seek out a bottle of Bolivian wine, raise a glass to the Andes, and prepare to be amazed. Until next time, happy exploring.